It's that time of the year. We have not one, but two doll clubs that have opened their registrations for the upcoming club year. So let's get into those details now. Hola, high fashion doll lovers. My name is Christopher y bienvenidos to my channel. In today's video, I have a dolly news. You know, I've never done that before. I should probably keep that in. I liked it. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on not just the registration exclusives, as they're being called now by Integrity Toys, but I'm also going to be sharing my thoughts on the newly presented JHD club dolls and a styling head. That was a choice, but we'll get into that. So sit back, grab a snack, and enjoy, because we're going to get right into it. And just so you know, if you're here for just Integrity Toys, you might want to skip ahead, because I'm leaving that for the second half of this video. I'm going to go into... Damn, you were loud. Okay? I'm going to go into JHD's club thing first. So let's get into those dolls. Okay, so as per usual with JHD, I don't really know what's going on. I really don't. So I do know that what I'm going to be discussing in this video, from what I understand, are the, I'm going to call it their registration exclusives. I do think the registration exclusive name is a little bit better than the upgrade doll, so I'm going to be using that one. Although that's not what JHD is calling them. That's what I'm going to call them. It just with JHD, it's a little weird because every year something different. This year, it feels like all three of the dolls that they are offering feel very basic, and they all have a kind of continuous theme going around. The years prior, I felt like there was a guy. Like, every year's been a little different. Sometimes they've included a closet or a fashion pack. This year, that's not really there. So yeah, as per usual, I'm sharing my thoughts and my opinion as what I see in photos, because it's really hard to get like information on them. I've heard even from the people in their club that how they receive it and when they get it is always all over the place. Their Instagram page is honestly another place that is not the best for like updates and information. So I wish them the best, because I'm going to be honest, and I think I say this every time, when JHD first came out about 6 years ago, I had high hopes. I was like, you know what? This is a starting point. We can grow. 6 years in, we're really running a very disorganized business. Just saying. And you know, I've been seeing a lot of people defend them in my comment section, and best of luck to you. But that feels like a toxic relationship from my eyes to the pub. You know, that from my eyes, I see that as a toxic relationship. And as you could see, I've digressed from not talking about the dolls because there's been so many things to talk about behind. It's just, okay, let's get into it. So it seems that all of the dolls that are presented, as well as the styling heads, are a part of a collection called Valley of the Dolls. If you are new here, I'm looking at notes that I put down on paper over here. So that's where my eyes are going. Where I was looking before, I don't know, because ain't nothing happening outside my window. But I know I was looking that way too. Don't get it. We're back. Okay. So, Valley of the Dolls, this is a name that I feel like I've heard from them a lot. I don't know if that's like a line of theirs. Like, this is a thing that they go to a lot. We're going to get into the first one. Or should I just say, I'm going to show you photos of the first one, and I'm going to insert the stats. Because the reality is, each one of these dolls is named the same thing. They come out the same time of the year, and their edition size is to be determined, right? Because I didn't write down an edition size. I don't think there was an edition size in the, okay, you know what? Here's the first one, okay? Here with the stats that you and I can both see together. That's all I got. This is Valley of the Dolls Blue Nightgown. That's it. That's all she is. What I will say about the blue nightgown, though, is that out of the three, she is the only one with a different nightgown set. The next two share the same set in color variation. How creative. Mold we've seen before. Screenings we've kind of seen before. It's giving very JHD. Yeah. What I think I was a bit annoyed, right? Annoyed, I think is the right word. Annoyed. Was of how basic the dolls are. For a line that has just not released anything after the Aphrodite big shell thing. I don't know. I was like, this felt like an easy way out of just like releasing dolls in nightgowns. But anywho, here's another image of blue nightgown. That's all I got. That's all I got. That's all I got. And then we're gonna move right along to white nightgown. Again, edition size, unreally known for me, but the stats are there if you can find them. Maybe your eyes are working better than mine. All of these dolls, once again, will be released early summer 2025. And as you can see from the stats, there is no price. So I would say, if you are a JHD club member, leave down the comments below, what is your VIP cost? Like, what is because I know the club is called the VIP something or the other. What is your membership looking like? Or like, do you get it through a dealer? Because what I see here is like global dealers. And I'm like, so are your dealers your club? Like, what's the dealio with this whole thing? Like, what you get? You know? Here's another image of white nightgown, because that's how I feel about it. It is. Now, last but not least, we have black nightgown, which is our AA doll, which I have to say, beautiful screening on this doll. Nothing remarkably like life-changing or trending. We've seen this before from JHD. As mentioned, white nightgown and black nightgown share the same nightgown. There's just styling differences and color variation, and the black one has like pink bows while the white one is just white. Yeah. But shout outs to them for having what many were upset with the other company about, and that was diversity. Although sometimes I question the diversity here, but hey, you got it. It's there. You got it. What can I say? What can I say? And now last but not least, the styling heads. Wow, I just saw like sprinkles. The styling heads are also called Valley of the Dolls. So actually it's styling head basic model blonde bombshell. That's the first one that we're going to look at. But they're under the Valley of the Dolls theme per se. Now, my first thought when I saw this was, wow, this is real Playline. Like, I have never seen or heard of a adult collecting company releasing a styling head for adult collectors. Like, unheard of. I don't want this to be trend-setting. It really doesn't need to be. However, it appears, although it's called a styling head, that she is not really meant for you to style her head though. And this is where wording is important, okay? Bear with me. Actually, you know what? Let me also just show you the image of the, what they call palm baby. Is that what that, I don't even know what I wrote. They have a blonde and they have a palm. They don't call her brunette, they call her palm. But those are the two option dolls. So I realized as I was looking at the images, there's no styling tools. There's no brush, there's no hair accessories, you know, things that styling dolls come with. The only thing that this doll seems to come with is 3 sets of earrings that you can interchange. Cool. I also thought the hand positions were interesting for a styling head. Usually styling heads is just the head, or like we have the hands crossed, because it's about the head and the hair, not so much about the hands. And then JHD posted photos. And it appears, now this makes more sense, shout outs to them here, that the reason why the styling heads have the hands in the way that they do is because they're really meant to be a display for your dolls. Or at least that's how they're presenting it in their reels on IG. So if you go to their IG page, there is, oh my God, I had a visual of like taking a screenshot and uploading it, but my editing skills are not there yet. So down in the future, maybe I can insert videos. We're not there yet. We're not there yet, but I can see it. Anyways, go to their Instagram page, check out the Instagram reels, and they have the 3 Valley of the Dolls featured or presented in this release in the hands of the styling heads. And I was like, oh, that's cute. I don't know if it's necessary, but it's cute. I honestly was like, so instead of calling it a styling head, I would have said display head, or like display head is probably best, because it appears that it's not for you to style her hair per se, but it's for you to style your dolls with her. So she's she's holding your dolls. And it's very cute. Like she's holding these girls, like her little toy next to her. Like it's adorable, but it really threw me off when I saw the images and it's a styling head. Cause I'm like, no shade. No shade at all. But what adult wants a styling head? I mean, I feel like at this point, if you're an adult and you have like a beautician license, you're probably like living that life and you don't want to go home and style someone's head. But I could be wrong because it's not my cup of tea. So I could be wrong. Maybe adults want styling heads and they don't have them. But this one don't seem to be that. She seems to be available to display your dolls on. And you can change the earrings to go. Now, I was a bit annoyed, just a bit, that instead of getting skin variation, we got hair variation. See, something that I appreciate Mattel for, yep, I use their name, is they try, and they're mostly successful at this, of there always being an American version and an African American version. I put air quotes on American because nowadays that could be debatable, but I'm not getting into politics. They always try to give you a variation of their most popular, and it's always a light skin, dark skin. Clean and simple. So over here, I was like, you're giving me 2 and it's the same skin with different hair color. I was like, what? No. If I'm gonna be nitpicky about something, it's gonna be that, because that's the conversation we're in nowadays, and I'm kind of like, But I've said this time and time and time again when it comes to JHD. Until they don't hire someone of color there, I'm very apprehensive of them featuring things of color in their line, because it's coming from a place in the world geographically where they don't have that much experience or exposure to it, and their exposure to it is very limited. So I feel some kind of way of them kind of putting that in there. So I have questions about the styling heads, which really seem to be display heads. But something else I've realized in the comments of them is people seem excited. So maybe I'm in my own little bubble over here. In my opinion is that it doesn't really count, because people seemed excited about it. I was confused. Just saying. I was. Well, the time you all been waiting for is here. Okay. It is time to share my thoughts on the W Club registration exclusives. I must say, I do like that name better. I just like it better. It really rolls off the tongue a little bit better. So I'm gonna go in the same order they went on the live presentation, which I did catch after. I didn't catch it on the live, but I did watch the video this time. So I'm a little bit more in the know because I've watched the video. So first and foremost, we are starting with Glamorous Pink Poppy Polka. Okay. Edition size is to be determined. Price is $175 plus shipping and handling. And all of these dolls are due fall 2025. I might repeat that again later, just so you know. Here are her stats, as you can see. So, I'm trying to think of where to start, because there's not really much to start with. My first initial thought was, another pink-haired Poppy as a registration exclusive. I feel like it was just recently that she had pink hair. So to have her with pink hair again just felt very repetitive. Just saying. I, for one, and I think I said this in my Dove video, I, for one, love a gown. I know it's not the era that we're in. It's not the society that we're in. People just don't understand how to be glamorous anymore. There, I said it. So I understand this year is going to upset a lot of people because it is a year celebration for the W Club exclusive. I mean, for the W Club exclusively, we're celebrating the W Club is what I meant to say there. So everything's very much celebratory, dress up, glam. And that's hard for people because we just don't live that kind of life. Like, it's just not our reality. And for some reason, we always want our dolls to be a part of a reality and not so much of a fantasy. But I'm digressing here. Let's bring it back to Poppy Parker. So I love that she's within theme about the event. I'm not really sure what event she was going to dress like that per se. Meaning like the pink hair, the pink, like all pink feels like a Barbie core event. See my winking? She's still trying to be Barbie because where are we going with all this pink? Honestly. Now, it is said that her screening, if I may, is new. I'm going to be honest. Maybe it's because I don't collect Poppy, but I didn't see it. I think I was so distracted by everything else that it was hard to notice the screening or any difference in the screening because she really, to me, is buried in the pink. And it just... Now, remember, I had a few videos last year in 2024, if you've been following, where I was defending Miss Poppy Parker. So this is no shade. So when she has a moment, I defend it, okay? I keep it real here. This ain't that moment for her. I don't think it is. It's a little washed out. It's a little bland. I love to hear the story about the fabrics though. Like I love to know that it's the same fabric that we got in the Style Lab with that like outfit that Reina was wearing. And then there was a pink variation. Love to hear that. Do I think the print in pink was used to its best abilities? I don't think so per se myself, but thinking back on that era and thinking back on that style of dress and the print, it actually works pretty well. It would have probably been used like that in that era, honestly. I think the pink bow is cute. Sorry. I think the pink boa is cute. But I don't know how it just all together is a no. I also been saying that a lot, but kind of when my brain's working. What was the point of the dog? I know there was a storyline of like she was taking the dog to the event, but wasn't she invited to the W Club party? Is it a different party? I didn't read her stories. I didn't read anyone's stories, honestly. So I gathered whatever they said in the video. And I was really like, I mean, the dog's cute and I like the little box the dog is in, but why she got a dog at this red carpet? Is she not going to the same party? Because I thought she was going to the same party. Thought we're all going to the same party. I was confused about that. In a nutshell, those are my thoughts on Poppy Parker. I was confused. It was a little bland. It was a little too much pink. She's still trying too hard to be Barbie. There, I said it. Take that as you may. And yeah, no. Up next, we have our new face offering, which is Lilith Blair. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of that. I didn't hear it in the video. And the way that my brain and the dyslexia have been disconnected lately, I'm not even going to try it because it's like Looster. Don't try me. I'm going to leave it alone. The edition size for this doll is also to be determined. All dolls are the same price, $175 plus shipping. And once again, fall 2025 for the release. So they say. I should have added that the first time I said that. Baby! Is the mic on? Did you hear that? Okay. This was everything. Okay. First and foremost, let me start with where I'm in love. Okay, you know where I'm in love? I'm in love. Damn it. The cough came in right when I was going to speak about love. I'm in love with the bob haircut. I have been dreaming of a doll with a bob that's styled like this. Like that just, I really hope the production get this right, and when she ships out, it looks as good as it does in this photo. Just saying, because there's a possibility she won't, but I'm really wishing for the best. Oh, the bob. It just, she also has the best face for the bob. Her face is so slender, so tiny, that it just really frames it beautifully. And oh, the bob coloring of that rich chocolate with the skin. Oh, I'm hungry. I really am. I'm hungry all over again inside. It's just really good. The dress. It's funny enough, I was watching some like Latin music award show, and one of the artists wore a similar dress to this, but in red, obviously without the train because she was performing. So I was like, oh, I just saw this dress, and I love this dress. I mean, I think it's cute. I think it's flirty. I think it's elegant. I think it really, you know, it's in line with something younger, but something glam and something refreshing. I love the color of the dress. Again, this doll to me is immaculate. Okay? Immaculate. She's giving everything I want her to give. Oh, I am interested to find out, because I didn't read the story as per usual, that she doesn't have a VIP ticket to this event. Oh, that's something else that I should have mentioned with Poppy, which again, I was confused with her kind of like following the trend of the event, but not going to the same event. Because I almost felt like, hear me out here. We're celebrating the W Club's 20th anniversary. Adele, Lilith, and the next girl we're going to talk about all have like these gift bags, and they have these like tickets, they're invited. Poppy should have had that, because Poppy should have been going to the same party instead of going wherever she is with this dog, because she is an offering of the W Club and we're at the W Club offering. So girl, why are you not at this party? Are your eras not matching? Because I feel like maybe for one night we can kind of like time travel. Just saying. For one night, can we not like join? But anyways, I love those details that were added to the new face and the FRs with like the gift bag and the ticket. Oh, I'm so excited. Like that whole little thing really makes it like a celebration. Like, you know, they're going somewhere and something's happening just by those little accessories. So I was very excited about that. I love that she in her gift bag seems to have gotten a lip gloss. It's a little light, but she's not a VIP. So, you know, just saying, a little shady. It's a little shady that she only gets a lip gloss and Adele had like all this stuff, but you know. And her gift bag is the same size, if you've noticed. Because I'm like, if you're getting just a lip gloss, you should have gotten a smaller bag. I've been to like fashion shows and stuff, and when you're a VIP, you get a bigger bag, and then when you're just a guest, you get a smaller one. So I'm like, should have Lilith had a smaller bag than that big bag, because she only got a lip gloss. But I'm reading too much into it. I am. Okay, let's go back to the other thing. Oh, shoot. I also forgot to mention something else with Poppy that I'm about to mention now. It's all in the same video. You understand, don't you? Something that I wanted to mention with Poppy that was mentioned about her is that she comes with flat feet, and they mentioned how everyone's been talking about either loving the flat feet or loving the high heels and wanting the variation. I thought it was interesting that she's just now hopping on that bandwagon of maybe coming with flat feet with all dolls when Jessie's been doing that. And a conversation I had with my friend recently about this is we're getting a lot more flat feet with our new face girls, but we're not getting that many flat feet shoes. And I'm okay with that because I've been using a lot of the flat feet with my like fashion mini sneakers and things of that nature, which work perfectly fine. Actually, they work great. But I do find it interesting that Poppy's now going to include that when I feel like in theory, because of her era, she has more flats, or she's had more dolls with flats. So I find it interesting that they're just now going to be releasing more Poppies with the flat feet as a thing. But that's something I forgot to mention over there, because obviously Lilith brings her flat feet, because this is something Jessie has been very like committed to, I want to say, lately. And I appreciate it. There was a time in my life when I did not like flat feet. I'm sure you can find those videos. Was not my thing. But I've learned to love them. I've learned to appreciate them. I've learned to see the value and play with them. So I'm glad she has them. And why am I getting to the feet? Because the feet remind me of the other topic that I want to talk about this outfit. The shoes. I love them. Kind of. I love that we're getting the shoe that... Shit. I forgot who was wearing those shoes in the Style Lab. Mostly because I probably didn't put them on her. Anyways, doesn't matter. These are the same shoes from the Style Lab. Jessie confirmed. They're obviously in a different color. The only thing that I was slightly annoyed with the shoe was, and this is a personal preference, so if it's not a you thing, tell me how you make it through. Please, tell me how you make it through. The ankle strap, I felt like was a little unnecessary, per se. I feel like I would love to see the shoe as a pump with the heel, very classic. Probably would have loved to see it in a 3D mold and maybe a plastic heel with a plastic heel on a plastic shoe. Probably what to be more clarified. Ankle straps just are not my thing. I end up cutting them off. They don't ever seem to really do the job. And I think to Jessie's thought process, this doll also has stockings. And when the dolls have stockings, it's best to find a way to tie them on. I'm kind of like, you could, you know, I'm not someone that plays a lot of stockings. I'm not. So, yeah. Damn it. I made that personal. I was talking about myself there. I'm just saying, you know, I'm looking at the play value from my angle and how I play. And that probably is personal. It's not a universal thing. I should accept that. Okay, I'm gonna move on. We're gonna leave Lilith here because... And now we have our final doll, which ironically enough threw me for a curveball because that's not who I thought it was gonna be. But then I realized my brain was in the wrong place to begin with. So we have Agnes van Weiss. I'm just gonna, because the Vernius, right? If I don't say a word very often, like on the daily of my vocabulary, they just don't stick. So like I've definitely seen it and I've heard it, but it's just not there. Same thing with like her title. Is it like Gardenia? Is that what it is? Very important to exercise this because there's been some questions lately. Anyways, her edition size is to be determined. And the price is also $175 plus shipping and handling, same as all fall 2025 release date. So first and foremost, I keep on forgetting that we're celebrating the W Club and not Integrity Toys. So when I saw Adele released a few weeks ago, I immediately thought fashion royalty. And I remember, a little bit that I remember, that for fashion royalty, it was Veronique and Adele. Like those are the two that started it. So I always think of them as pairs, especially because they were featured as a pair as upgrade dolls for a convention a few years back. So to me, if one comes out, the other one's coming after. Kind of just made that relationship. But I keep on forgetting that this is not about fashion royalty and this is about the W Club. And with that being said, from what I also remember, Agnes is known for being more of like the club exclusive doll. So it's actually no surprise that she would be actually featured as the registration exclusive. Because from what I've gathered or from what I've heard, if I'm not mistaken, that's kind of how she was introduced. That's kind of how she was always meant to be in a way. So kind of makes sense that she would be here. Where do I start? It's really the question here. Where do I start? I'm gonna start from the bottom. So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start from the bottom. I'm gonna start with the accessories. Red flag. The shoes in this fashion styling pack. It's really a pack, so that makes sense, right? We're gonna let that roll. Are the same shoes we just saw at convention for Vanessa Lisa Rose. And let me tell you something, as someone who bought Vanessa Lisa Rose, I hate those shoes. Again, this is personal and I'm sharing my personal experience and thoughts. I hate those shoes. I hate anything that has to be tied multiple on something so tiny. Not my friend, okay? I also do not understand. I don't get it. Why are we featuring such a stylized shoe on dresses that you can't see them in? Like, this is a shoe that I would probably style personally with a high and low, or with like a cocktail dress, like a dress that you'll see the shoe. Like, the shoe will have its moment. You know, you'll see the rose, you'll see you'll see it. But on these ball gowns and long evening gowns, why? Like, why can't I just not have a simple pump? Same thing happened with Jason Wu at the recent convention with the pink dress. Sorry, can't get rid of this cough for nothing in the world. Why are we styling such a ball gown with a pump with a bow? Like, these are little details that make these shoes cute and stand out when dresses are short. Like, Poppy with her little short 60s dresses should be wearing more shoes like this, because you'll see them. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I really didn't. I didn't get it. Also, because I don't see flowers anywhere on her. Like, there's not a rose detail on the dress anywhere. There might be some kind of rose detail on the lace, but it's black on black. I did not understand the pairing of these shoes. The bag looks cute. Also, her styling in particular just felt very off. Honestly, yeah, the styling fell off, because if we get to the earrings, they're like green, and I'm like, how does the green go with this? And as much as Wicked just showed us the green and pink go great together, you have to have the right shades of pink and green in order for them to work. And I wasn't getting it here at all. Now I'm going to get to the part where I'm sure you all want me to get to. Ooh, child. This dress sing your heart out there. This dress was very, I keep on thinking lackluster, and I was like, no, it was less than that. It was less than lackluster. I feel that after seeing the Adele in the Schiaparelli color variation gown, which we now saw someone actually on the red carpet wear the same color variation of the dress, so maybe it was out there and we just didn't know. This just felt like a letdown. No shade. It just felt so basic and so clean. Oh, and you know what else I just realized as I said a basic and clean? I've seen this variation of color before. There was at one point an upgrade doll, and Elise, with what I remember being like an Oscar Lorenzo inspired dress, which is the black deep V with the pink skirt that was like a high and low. Okay. We've seen this color combo before. This dress was just plain. It was plain. It was boring. And it just wasn't a moment. It wasn't. I'm not sure if it was intended to be. These are registration dolls. But I just felt like, you know, we could have done something else. Like, the Lilith was very simple and she still had an impact. Something about this just also felt very 80s, very Dynasty. It just wasn't working for me. It wasn't. And, you know, if we wanted to go Glinda, maybe we should have just gone Glinda. And I say that because I'm like, oh, you know, she has a blonde hair, pale skin. She kind of has like the hair pulled back on the side. And if we wanted to go Glinda, we should have gone Glinda all the way. We really should have. Because... Okay, so that concludes my video. Those are my thoughts on both of the offerings from both of these companies. I obviously am more invested in one than the other. I think you can already tell which one I got as my registration exclusive. I obviously did join. I've said this time and time again. I will forever probably join even if there's only one doll that I get that year. I just prefer to be a part of the invitation instead of being out of it. You just never know what's going to happen. Registration and upgrade dolls don't ever define what the year ahead is going to be like. also things change rapidly in this world, not just in the toy company, but in the world. In the last 5 years, we've seen massive delays and massive issues all over different industries. So joining is with a grain of salt, but I prefer to have a seat in the table than to just be eavesdropping from the outside. I've seen the questions and the debates. I'm not going to touch on those just because they're not my personal views on that. I agree with a lot of them, though. And I think in the last few years, and I don't think this is anything that I've shared with, or maybe I have, I'm at that place where if I can't physically do the change myself, then I'll just keep on enjoying what I'm enjoying in doses, even if it's smaller doses. I think as the days and years go by, the more I would want my own dog company. But that's something that will take time. And I say that because a lot of the things that I hear are things that I'm kind of like, in the back of my mind, that motto of go out there and make the change is loud. I don't come from a place ever of beat the horse down until it changes for you. Go make your own change, because that horse's point of view is not yours. I don't know why I'm using horses. That was random, but it's what came out, so I'm riding off with it. I just don't, that's not my point of view. I've in different things, I've seen people be like, fight, defend it. Sometimes walking away is healthy, and it's not a negative thing, because a lot of the times what you're fighting against is someone who's not sharing your point of view, and you don't have to force someone to see what you see. You just have to create it, and someone else will follow you for what you see. So having that thought of like, make them see what you see. No, it's okay. This is their company. This is their ideals. You don't have to agree. You don't have to support it. But if no one out there is really doing what you want them to do, then maybe enjoy things at a smaller dose. Take what you want, leave what you don't. And if you can, create what you want to create. Let this be a platform to really show you that perhaps something out there is missing, and you know the people that want the same thing. That's what I say to that. I know the club has been getting a lot of heat, I want to say the last few years after the pandemic. And I think that's more a reflection of the fact that as a society, we're just always in heat now, because our world has been so unstable and so inconsistent. I will make a comment about the news about there not being an in-person convention this year. I am not surprised with that comment. I felt that after getting the survey that we got after the convention, that kind of led me to believe that there was nothing planned and they were feeling things out. This was the first convention in person in 5 years, and they are always trying to find what works for everyone. And that, honestly, it's never going to be for everyone, but they're finding a middle ground. After having a conversation with a friend, in theory, I'm okay with us skipping a year, as long as we're promising another in-person next year. Going consistently every year in the way that the life is just costing. Cost of eggs has been all over the internet. Going to something like this yearly now seems like a big to-do. So balancing it off every other year might be something great. It's just different and we have to try it out. I am excited to see if there is something small like Curated again. I know we did not love Curated. It felt rushed. But maybe now that we've experienced that, we can have a different experience. I know I myself will not be traveling to wherever this is for the day. I am too old. I'm spending the night. I'm gonna make a trip out of it. Make the dolls not be the only thing you go on that trip for if they do another one of these one-day events. Because it's a big if. It's not possible. Although knowing them and knowing production, they've already had to design these dolls. So it's probably more, I guess, than a no. Just saying. But yes, I want to leave everyone with open mind, open heart, open thoughts. The world is the world right now. and we should try our best to find more joy and less misery. Yeah. Bye.